I've got games, so many games, I don't know what to do with all these games. And if you just want to chat, let's talk in bits and bytes, cause I'm down like that. When I'm at the Goodwills or when I'm checking Craigslist, all I'm thinking about is my NES. It's just something to do, it's like the passing of time. Without further ado, let's end this rhyme. Hey everyone, it's Justin, and this is going to be a special episode. I'm going to actually do a video response to MichaelBtheGameGenie's 400 subscriber contest, and I'm going to be doing the favorite rented video game. Now, I wasn't sure, obviously there's a lot of systems back in the day, in the early days of my generation of video games, which would have been Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega. But I decided to stick with the Nintendo. I had a lot of fond memories of, Friday, my mom would take me and my brother to McDonald's, and then we'd go to the video store, and, it was one of those local video stores, and, we knew the owner, and sometimes he would have a little special import box of games that they weren't out yet, and other times he just had some new games. And the one game I'm going to do, I remember playing it actually in the arcade, which now that I think about it, that seems like it was such a long time ago. But this, you have to remember, this is when arcades were huge in the 70s into 80s, even into the later 80s, before they kind of died off in the 90s, and not really making any headway these days. But back then, arcades were the closest you could get to playing all of your favorite games in one location. This one game, it's from SNK, and they didn't make too many Nintendo games, but I'd have to say, for the most part, a lot of SNK's games that they did make that were ports of their arcade counterparts are actually fairly good. We think games like POW for Nintendo. You think about the Ikari Warriors. All of those. Those are really challenging games, but they're still really, really fun to play. The game that I chose, though, Guerilla War. Yes, it is one of my favorite games, and when I first saw this as a Nintendo game, I had to rent it. I had to. I just remember the arcade and playing it with a second player, and it kind of, it's like a Commando, Capcom's Commando. It's an overhead like the Ikari Warriors. Really fast-paced. You're pretty much trying to overthrow the government, saving hostages, picking up tanks, shooting people with rockets. It gets really frantic, but it's good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think I enjoyed it so much because it wasn't a hard game per se. It was challenging, and you could beat it in one sitting, but it wasn't like Ikari Warriors, where in the arcade it was nearly next to impossible to beat that game without having a backpack full of quarters. You could finish this game. It just took you really keeping your eye on everything that was happening on the screen and multitasking. But I would pick this game up if I saw it there. I would see what else he had, but I probably rented this game close to probably 10 plus times in the span of maybe a year or two. It was just fun, and it's nice to actually be able to beat. I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, I didn't really beat too many Nintendo games, and I still haven't beaten a lot of the games that people would think would be an easy game. Like, first game ever that I think I ever played was Super Mario Brothers. I still have not beaten that game. I know, you're probably all laughing. It's true. I will get to it. I didn't beat Zelda until maybe 2006, 2005? Yeah. So, to be able to beat a game was a big thing. This is definitely one of the games that I was able to beat, and that's probably why I rented it so many times, because I could beat it. But let's get to some of the gameplay, shall we? Alright, Guerilla War. Excuse the videography. I have a particular capture card that doesn't seem to like a lot of the older console systems component, so I have to use straight captures off the TV, but it works. So you'll see, oh, are we playing 2-player? No, we're playing 1-player. So anyways, yeah, you'll see a lot of similarities to the Ikari Warriors, as I keep mentioning the Ikari Warriors, but this is a lot faster, it's not as slow, not as challenging. I think watch this with me. I'm gonna clear the screen a little bit. Ugh, killed one of the hostages. I think he is shooting, literally shooting missiles like he would be on an assault rifle. I killed another one. It's very easy to kill hostages in this game. You really have to kind of creep along, and that's one of the ways that you can actually beat this game relatively easy, is creeping along. Yes, I creep. But again, like Commando, you have your bombs. He looks like he even throws like giant cannonballs, and they're round. They're round. Whatever. This guy's a one-man army. He's like freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. It's like Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, Sylvester Stallone, and Arnold Schwarzenegger all in one. He's had a bad day. And this thing, ugh, like, look at it. It like shoots rockets and then explodes and then shoots 3 cannonballs. I mean, it's insane. I love it. Yeah, boom. This game would probably make you have seizures if you had epilepsy. I'm not joking. Oh, look at that slow down. Boom! Oh. Forgot that if you just touch these guys. Oh. Come on. It does get harder. Especially when you have all this stuff just happening. I mean, it's just... forgot. Yeah, you can't really blow up the docks, otherwise you can't use your tanks. That's alright, there's one right here. Ooh, I think the F sucks. Like in most... Oh, I guess it's actually pretty good. Except for when you kill him. Oh, come on! Alright, here we go. Oh yeah? Yeah, you're not really tough for a first boss. I'm gonna... So, as you can see, yeah, it's not very hard. Especially when they give you a tank, like, right at the end. But, I mean, you... Oh, what? Alright, so who was that? That guy was just pretty much just asking to get killed. So yeah, I mean, you pretty much have all the same powers that you would in the tank. Which is kind of cool. Because you're like a one-man tank to begin with. sucks with the base weapon though. Boom! Yeah. Then you get your kind of commando, jackal, cut screens of progressing. Kind of reminds me of Castlevania in a way too. But yeah, that's Guerilla War. So yeah, that was very, very fun and enjoyable. I recommend this to anyone who's into, you know, retro. I don't even know what you consider Nintendo at this point. If it's classic, if you find it, pick it up. If you can't find it, go and get it. It's Guerilla War, SNK. They made other games, POW, as they say, Akari Warriors. But yeah, really fun. Music is good too. There's not really much else I can say. I mean, I enjoyed this game growing up. Definitely worth renting. When I saw it there on the shelf in the store, I had to rent it. I popped a lot of quarters in the arcade game, and this is a faithful, if not true, port to the Nintendo. And without companies like SNK, you wouldn't have the Neo Geo. And hello, the Neo Geo rocks.